Module 6 is about the major regulatory authorities. Pharmaceutical regulations across the globe play a vital role in guaranteeing the safety, quality, and efficacy of drugs. Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency is accountable to enforce the regulations and issue guidelines for drug development, licensing, registration, producing, labeling, storage, marketing, distribution, pricing of drugs, import, and post-marketing studies of pharmaceutical products. Pharmaceutical industries, while pursuing an international market, must comply with pharmaceutical regulations of other countries, which have different regulatory requirements. Let's go through the module. Pharmaceutical regulations are a set of legal, administrative, and technical measures that governments implement to make sure the safety, quality, and efficacy of medicines, as well as the relevance and accuracy of the product data available to the public. The term regulation includes a variety of texts such as guidelines, recommendations, procedures, policies, etc., that have different legal basis and authority. Regulations are required for both new and the pre-existing products, domestically produced products, and those imported from other countries. The main aim of regulatory agencies is to maintain the standards of the drug at every step to cater for the patient population. A regulatory system for medicines must provide access to effective treatments in time for patients, protect patient safety, and promote research into new treatments. Regulatory agencies provide strategic, tactical, and operational guidance as well as support for working within regulations to accelerate the development and delivery of safe and effective medicines or healthcare products to the public. Current pharmaceutical industry is very organized. It is systematic and compliant to international regulations. Multiple tragedies like sulfanilamide elixir, vaccine tragedy, and thalidomide tragedy has led to the need of a well-controlled regulatory framework. This has resulted into efficient manufacturing and marketing of safe, effective, and quality healthcare products. So, the regulatory body ensures compliances in various legal and regulatory aspects of the drug, and every country has its own regulatory authority which is responsible to enforce the rules and regulations and issue the guidelines to regulate drug development process, licensing, registration, manufacturing, marketing, and labeling of pharmaceutical products. We know that drugs play a major role in saving lives, maintaining health, preventing diseases, stopping epidemics, and in improving economy of the country. Therefore, people, government, pharmaceutical industries, and research institutes spend money on drugs. However, in order to do so, drug must be safe, effective, and of good quality. This means the development, production, importation, exportation, and distribution of drugs are regulated to ensure that they meet prescribed standards. For effective regulation of pharmaceutical products, governments establish strong national regulatory authorities to assure that the medicines are regulated effectively, thereby protecting and promoting public health. Pharmaceutical regulations across the globe play a vital role in guaranteeing regulations and issue guidelines for drug development, licensing pharmaceutical products, pr- production, labeling, storage, marketing, distribution, pricing of drugs, import, and post-marketing studies of pharmaceutical products. Now, national regulatory authorities. We know that regulatory agencies and organizations play a vital role to meet the requirement of legal procedures related to drug development process in a country. Every country has its own regulatory authority which is responsible to enforce the rules and regulations and issue the guidelines to regulate drug development process, licensing, registration, manufacturing, marketing, and labeling of pharmaceutical products. These are the country-specific regulatory authorities. For India, it is Central Drug Standard Control Organization, that is CDSCO. For USA, it is FDA, Food and Drug Administration. For Europe, it is European Medicines Agency, EMA. For UK, it is Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA. Australia, it is Therapeutics Goods Administration, TGA. For Canada, it is Health Canada. For New Zealand, it is Medicines and Medical Devices Safety Authority, MedSafe. For China, it is State Food and Drug Administration, that is SFDA. For Japan, it is Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare, that is MHLW. For Switzerland, it is Swissmedic, Swiss Agency for Therapeutic Products. These are international regulatory agencies and organizations. WHO, that is World Health Organization, International Conference on Harmonization ICH, Pan America Health Organization PAHO, World Trade Organization, that is WTO, World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO. They also play significant role in applying pharmaceutical regulations in all aspects related to drug development, registration, production, distribution, marketing, price control, and research. They also ensure and increase regulatory implementation in unregulated parts of the world for safety of public. To start with CDSO, that is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. It is a drug regulatory agency of India. CDSCO is the National Regulatory Authority, that is NRA of India. It works under the Directorate General of Health Services, that is DGHS, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. The CDSCO is the Central Drug Regulatory Authority for execution of functions assigned to the central government under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. CDSCO head office is located in New Delhi. It has 6 zonal offices, 4 subzonal offices, 13 port offices, and 7 laboratories spread across the country. Now, what are the responsibilities of CDSCO? Let's see. CDSCO and state regulatory bodies are jointly responsible for grant of licenses of blood and blood products, intravenous fluids, vaccines and sera. Within CDSCO, Drug Controller General of India, that is DCGI, is responsible for regulation of pharmaceutical products and medical devices. Then the DTAB, that is Drug Technical Advisory Board, and the DCC, that is Drug Consultative Committee, advise the DCGI. Licensing and classification of medical devices is the function of CLAA, that is Central Licensing Approval Authority. It is also responsible for setting and enforcing safety standards, performing post-market surveillance, issue of warning, and recall of pharmaceutical products for adverse events. Let me divide it into 3 parts. Let us divide these responsibilities into 3 parts. First is central licensing authorities, then state licensing authorities, and other functions. Coming to the central licensing authorities, they are responsible for new drug approvals. They are responsible for performing clinical trials, establish standards for drugs, quality control of imported drugs, import registration and licensing. They are also responsible for coordination of the activities of state drug control authorities by giving expert opinion to uniformly enforce the DNC Act. So this was all about central licensing authorities. The second part is state licensing authorities. This is responsible for regulation of production, sale and marketing of drugs. Coming to the third part, that is other functions. In other functions, the grant of license for blood banks, large volume parenterals, vaccines, recombinant DNA products, and some medical devices. Amendment of Drug and Cosmetics Act rules. Ban of all drugs and cosmetics also comes under other functions of CDSCO. Grant of test license, personal license, no objection certificate, that is NOC for export, testing of new drugs and cosmetics. This was the third part. Let us also see the functions of central drug testing laboratories. They act as an appellate authority in drug quality related disputes. Procurement, preservation and distribution of international reference standard pharmaceutical substances. It is also a part of responsibility of Central Drug Testing Laboratory. So this was all about the CDSCO responsibility. CDSCO, remember, it is the regulatory authority of India. Then comes to United States Food and Drug Administration, that is USFDA. The Food and Drug Administration is an agency of United States Department of Health and Human Services. It consists of 6 product centers, 1 research center, and 2 offices. The Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, that is CDER, it ensures that safe and effective drugs are available to enhance the health of the people. Food and Drug Modernization Act states that FDA has 4 major roles. Let us see what are the 4 major roles. First is to improve health by reviewing research and new products approval. Second is to assure that foods and drugs are safe and properly labeled. Third is to work with other countries to decrease the burden of regulation. And fourth is to cooperate with scientific experts and consumers to properly implement these obligations. So, the FDA, that is US FDA, is an agency within the US Department of Health and Human Services, that is HHS, that oversees the manufacturing and distribution of food, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, tobacco and other consumer products and veterinary medicine. Just now we have seen that FDA regulates foods, drugs, biologics, medical devices, electronic products that give off radiation, cosmetics, veterinary products and tobacco products. So let's see one by one. FDA regulates foods including dietary supplements, bottled water, food additives, infant formulas, and other food products. Although the US Department of Agriculture plays a lead role in regulating aspects of some meat, poultry, and egg products. Next is drugs. FDA regulates drugs, that is prescription drugs, both brand name and generic drugs. non-prescription drugs, that is over-the-counter drugs. FDA also regulates biologics, including vaccines for human, blood and blood products, cellular and gene therapy products, tissue and tissue products, and allergenics. FDA also regulates medical devices, including simple items like tongue depressors and bedpans, complex technologies such as heart pacemakers, dental devices, surgical implants, and prosthetics. FDA also regulates electronic products that give off radiation, including microwave ovens, X ray equipment, laser products, ultrasonic therapy equipment, mercury vapor lamps, sun lamps. US FDA also regulates cosmetics, including color additives found in makeup and other personal care products, skin moisturizers and cleansers, nail polish and perfume. FDA also regulates veterinary products, including livestock feeds, pet foods, veterinary drugs and devices. It regulates tobacco products, including cigarettes, cigarette tobacco, roll your own tobacco, smokeless tobacco. European Medicines Agency, that is EMA. It is the drug regulatory agency in Europe. EMA is a European Union agency which evaluates and supervises medicinal products. The European Medicines Agency is a decentralized agency of the European Union which is responsible for the scientific evaluation, supervision, and safety monitoring of medicines in EU. EMA, that is European Medicines Agency, is governed by an independent management board. Its day-to-day operations are carried out by the EMA staff, overseen by EMA's executive director. What are the responsibilities of European Medicines Agency? Let's have a look. It facilitates, evaluate, monitor and provide. What exactly it does? It facilitates development and access to medicines. It evaluates applications for marketing authorizations. It monitors the safety of medicines across their life cycle. It provides information to healthcare professionals and patients. And other functions include it provides timely patient access to new medicines, scientific suggestions and protocol assistance, orphan designation of medicines for rare diseases, developing scientific guidelines on needs for the safety, efficacy and quality testing of medicines and setting standards. It also promotes research and development of new medicines in the pharmaceutical industry by European small and medium-sized enterprises, continuous monitoring and supervision of the safety of medicines, assessment of pharmaceutical manufacturing companies, compliance with their pharmacovigilance obligations. It also contributes to international pharmacovigilance activities with other authorities outside the EU, also provide information on the safety of medicines to the public, and publishes impartial and clear information about medicines and their approved uses. These were all about the responsibilities of European Medicines Agency, which is the drug regulatory agency in Europe. MHRA, that is Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA. It is the regulatory agency of UK. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, that is MHRA, regulates medicines, medical devices and blood components for transfusion in the UK. MHRA is an executive agency sponsored by the Department of Health and Social Care. These are the responsibilities of MHRA. It ensures that the medicines, medical devices, and blood components for transfusion meet applicable standards of safety, quality, and efficacy. It also ensures that the supply chain for medicines, medical devices, and blood components is safe and secure. It promotes international standardization and harmonization to assure the effectiveness and safety of the biological medicines. It helps to educate the public and healthcare professionals about the risks and benefits of medicines, medical devices, and blood components, leading to safer and more effective use. It supports innovation and research and development that is beneficial to public health. It influences UK, EU, and international regulatory frameworks so that they are risk proportionate and effective at protecting public health. These are the responsibilities of MHRA, and this is the regulatory agency of UK. World Health Organization, WHO. What exactly is this? The World Health Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations which is responsible for international public health. The WHO Constitution states its main objective as the attainment by all peoples of the highest possible level of health. It is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. It has 6 regional offices and 150 field offices worldwide. These are the responsibilities of World Health Organization. It provides leadership on global health matters, shapes the health research agenda, setting norms and standards, articulates evidence-based policy options, provides technical support to countries, and monitors and assesses health trends. These are the major responsibilities of WHO. Health Canada. This is the regulatory agency of Canada. Health Canada is responsible for helping Canadians maintain and improve their health. It ensures that high quality health services are accessible and works to reduce health risks. Coming to the responsibilities of Health Canada, it protects Canadians from unsafe food, health and consumer products. It promotes innovation in healthcare and informs Canadians to make healthy choices. These are the major responsibilities of Health Canada, which is the regulatory agency of Canada. ICH, that is International Council for Harmonization. The International Council for Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Pharmaceutical for Human Use (ICH) is unique in bringing together the regulatory authorities and pharmaceutical industry to discuss scientific and technical aspects of pharmaceuticals and develop ICH guidelines. ICH is a unique harmonization initiative for regulators and pharmaceutical industry, and it was founded in the year 1990. Now, what is the purpose of ICH? Promotion of public health through international harmonization that contributes to prevention of unnecessary duplication of clinical trials and post-market clinical evaluations. Responsible for development and manufacturing of new medicines, registration and supervision of new medicines, reduction of unnecessary animal testing without compromising safety and effectiveness. In this module, we have seen the major regulatory authorities, national and international. We know the primary purpose of the rules governing pharmaceutical products is to safeguard public health. And it is the role of regulatory authorities to ensure that the pharmaceutical companies comply with regulations so that the drug developed and manufactured will be safe, effective, and thus the patient's well being is protected. This was all about the major regulatory authorities. Coming up next is our Module 7, that is registration of drug and dossier preparation in CTD and eCTD submissions. Best of luck.